Where the hell have you been, Loca?
And the phone bush turns white, that's when I'll come.
So I just picked up my rental car here in Portland. I am super excited to get started on this weekend journey to explore all things Twilight, and we have to stop first and get some food. And what better place to stop at than Carver Cafe? Carver Cafe is where Bella and Charlie frequently have dinner throughout the first Twilight film. This restaurant is amazing. They have a great menu with a couple of items that give a nice nod to the characters of Twilight. So this is the corner where Bella and her dad Charlie during the diner scene in Twilight. This scene is really popular because of Bella's lovely action of shaking the ketchup, or should I say not really shaking the ketchup, over her fries while she's eating dinner here. When I walked into the cafe today, there was not a wait. However, this particular table is often highly requested. So if you do want to come sit here, they may have to start a wait list. I was fortunate enough because there was no wait. I just had to sit at the bar for about 10 minutes or so before this table opened up, and I was escorted right over. And right behind me is the lovely tree where Mike decided to get jiggy with it and show the tree a lot of love when he was trying to impress Bella. There is a dedicated Twilight guest book, so make sure you sign that. I also had the Alice's Cinnamon Twirl French Toast, which was absolutely delicious. The owner, Kris, came by and we chatted up a storm. She told me all of the amazing things that she experienced with the cast and crew, and they truly had a great time working together. We are now at Stonecliff Inn, where we're going to check out some of the forest scenes and sequences that took place while Bella was finding out more about Edward and his secret identity. Stonecliff Inn is not only a beautiful facility, but it also sits on a gorgeous piece of property. The Twilight production were able to film quite a few scenes between Edward and Bella right a few steps away from the property itself. You could see the parking lot through the trees and rocks, and you really don't have to go far into the woods in order to see where they filmed each of these scenes. They have placards on a couple of the rock formations that give you the exact scene and the exact lines that were filmed in those spots. Again, you can see that we're just steps away from the parking lot itself, but they're able to make it look like a deep forest woodsy scene. Now, Stonecliff Inn is a very, very quick drive, literally 3 minutes away from Carver Cafe. So I highly recommend, if you are doing a Twilight tour, just taking the extra few minutes to come on over and check out these fun sites. Now it's time to take the hour-long drive up to St. Helens for all of the exterior Port Angeles scenes.
You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
We are not in Forks, Washington. We are in Portland. Now, Bella's house is private property. I do believe it is currently an Airbnb, so you can rent it out during specific parts of the year. However, it does get booked up very quickly and for a very long wait of time. The first time I heard that this was turned into an Airbnb, I checked on their website and the waiting list was 2 years out. And apparently that's the norm. So if you actually want to stay inside the house, you have to double check Airbnb, and it's not open year round. They open up the reservation system at different points throughout the year. So you just got to keep tabs and stay aware of when they do in fact open up reservations. Also, there is signage here to remind fans to park on the main street that leads up to this one and then walk up to take photos. This street is very, very narrow, and I can only imagine with the neighbors and residences on the street, it can get pretty packed if cars started parking all along just to pull up to take photos. So again, you would be parking on the main street just down there and then walking up and then finding it up to your left. So as always, you want to be respectful and courteous whenever you're doing anything touristy like this. So as much as you may be super excited, because I know I am, I want to like run around the property and everything, but I'm not going to do things like that. Again, it's a private residence, and we have to respect the fact that other people live around them. There are people that live in that home, and for them it is exactly that. It's their home. So just follow the signage, follow the rules, park on the main street down the way, walk up, grab your photos, and then you're good to go. And the walk honestly is not bad. It's literally 30 seconds from the main road up to the house. Welcome to Port Angeles.
Port Angeles? You mind if I come?
So the Edward rescuing Bella scene did not actually take place in Port Angeles, but here in St. Helens, Oregon. This particular parking lot is behind a row of storefronts on the main strip of First Street here in St. Helens. We're right by the water. and it serves as a backdrop of Bella escaping those thugs she runs into in the alleyway. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I have seen some speculation that this actually has not always been on the side of the building, that apparently this was put up by production to make it look like a gritty back alley area. This is another one of my favorite scenes in the film because this is a part where the adrenaline definitely rushes all the way up as we see Bella encounter this really scary situation, and Edward comes driving in, or should I say skirting in, to the rescue. Here is the exterior of the prom dress shop. It is currently a gift shop and a hair salon, but in the movie we can see the girls trying on their prom dresses through the window here. Unfortunately, it is closed today as the owner is not feeling well, but it is very nice to see the window front where we could see the girls. Now, they do have a sign up front here. It says this gift shop was Petite Jolie, or Jolie, which is the dress shop in the Twilight Saga movie. It's really cute. They have the sign up to acknowledge it. I've noticed a lot of the stores and vendors here in Portland and outside of Portland have really embraced the Twilight fandom, having signage with information about how they participated in the filming of the series. So again, really, really cool. Really great community. Another spot I wanted to check out here in St. Helens is Jilly's Again. Now, while Jilly's Again wasn't directly featured in the Twilight film, they did provide all the costuming we saw in the prom dress shop. So this is a very cute boutique that houses a lot of costumes, props, and a lot of other things you can look around and find that are very unique and specific. Unfortunately, they are closed today. However, the cast and crew were known to frequent this store to pick up things like sunglasses and hair supplies and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So that is really, really cool. And here in their window, they have their Twilight sign and a couple of candid shots. So unfortunately, it is closed today. The owner is on vacation, but again, I did want to give a shout out to Jilly's Beverly Hills Shopping Boutique for supplying all of the wardrobe inside the prom dress shop and also being a fun space for the cast and crew to come and find some unique items. And last but not least, here in St. Helens, welcome to the Bloated Toad. The Bloated Toad is featured right after Bella's rescue scene. However, it is a storefront. It is not a real restaurant here in St. Helens. If you are coming to St. Helens to check out all of these amazing Twilight filming locations, the great thing to note is that they're all within a 5-minute walking distance of each other. So you can check out all of the storefronts, those vendors, and the Port Angeles scene all within a 5-minute walk, which is very cool. And last but not least, we wrap up day 1 of our Twilight tour at the Cullen's house. Now, for several years after the filming of Twilight and after the movies came out, there were a few different owners of the home where you could kind of go up the driveway a little bit. You could get a better angle of what the house looks like. The architect is actually pretty well renowned for the design of not only this house, but other beautiful structures as well. However, there are new owners now that have put a gate down below at the end of the driveway, so it's no longer accessible. And as you can see, even though it's January and there aren't many leaves on the trees, it's very difficult now to get a good view of what the property looks like.
Perfect.
It is day 2 of our Twilight tour here in Portland, but we're actually in Washington for Forks High School. So while the majority of the film takes place in Forks, Washington, as we've discussed already, a lot of it was filmed around Portland, Oregon and St. Helens, Oregon. However, they did come up into Washington State for all of the exterior scenes that portrayed Forks High School. We are at Kalama High School here in Kalama, Washington. This is the exterior of all of the parking lot scenes in the first film. There's the side entryway here where the students go into the building. Now, this isn't actually the front of the high school. This is one of the sides of the high school, but for the purposes of the movie, it served as the front.
Are you liking the rain, girl?
This back wall here is where the Cullens famously parked all of their vehicles each morning coming to school. The first couple scenes we see Bella in, she parks in these middle spots here. In the scene where we see Edward save Bella, however, that is actually over here right along the side. So to the left is where her truck is parked when Edward comes running over to save her from being squished by the van. That's my monkey man.
It's time.
The Shire used to film the baseball scenes in the first Twilight movie is currently owned and operated by University of Oregon. They typically do offer public tours. However, recently it's been closed for renovation, and as a result, it is gated, locked up, and signs everywhere that say, "Do not trespass." Even though the Shire is one field over from exactly where we're standing, We're not trespassing today. Across the Columbia River Gorge is Oregon, and that serves as the backdrop for the baseball scene. Now, the maintenance is not exactly the same. You don't have quite the same lush greenery and grass, and there are more trees because this is technically an apple orchard. However, you can enjoy stunning views along with picnic tables if you want to set up a lunch or meal. And there is a 1-mile looping path that takes you all around the field. During the spring and summer, this is sure to provide a wonderful escape into nature and to enjoy the views of the beautiful Columbia River Gorge. The Bridge of the Gods actually connects the states of Washington and Oregon. This is featured in the opening title sequence of the film, and it is still accessible today. Now we're checking out Multnomah Falls.
This is perfect. Are you joking? Oh, sorry.
Multnomah Falls is actually featured in numerous scenes throughout the film, everything from Bella and Edward just walking through some of the baseball sequences. This historic site is absolutely stunning. There are multiple points where you can take photos and get a wonderful view of the falls from both down here, which is the main parking level, and then further up top on the bridge. When you come to the mid-level, they have a bridge here where you can get a nice front of the house view of the waterfalls. It looks absolutely stunning and so beautiful. So whether you make this part of your Twilight tour or you're just vacationing here in Oregon, I highly recommend coming to check this out. This is pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've had an absolute blast the last 2 days visiting all of the different locations from the filming of the first Twilight film in 2008. This really was a dream come true. Having been a fan of the novels and the movies as they came out growing up, this was really like bringing everything to life. And so seeing everything in person, it was just, this whole experience will truly be a small and perfect piece of my forever. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.